Okay, so hello everyone. So welcome to the new recordings. So I think in this video I have something a little bit fresh new to talk about. So I somehow went through a Twitter post about a new um, view dev tools. I think if you used to work with view dev tool, you probably see something which should look like this. Okay. Oh, I think this one will not work in your incognito mode. So basically, this one is will allow you to debug and actually see some information about your projects, like app, let's say component, and you can also view the timeline of the view router and uh, let's say the timeline of state management, like live view X and Penny as well. And you also find another information, let's say another informations like uh, graph, something like that. Okay, but I think in the old util tools, so I think there's I really less information, and I think the UI is not, it is already good, but I think with the new util tool you can actually have a lot more things to uh, play with. So if you take a look at this website here from web fans please, I'm not sure how, but I found this um, repost from the Twitter post. So as you can see here, this is actually a view dev tools. This is preview versions, so this is not yet released into public. So this one, just to make sure that you check it out and then try to play with it. What are the things that you love about this one? Okay, so basically, so I think if you're already familiar with the Nuxtail tool, I think you probably um, already familiar with these features that inside this new view dev tool. So I think uh, the Nuxtail tool, but I never try I never I tr- never tried Nuxtail tool before. Nux it's Nuxtail tool. Okay, so I think Nuxtail tool is actually built in. I think not built in. You basically need to install it as well. Okay, I hope that you need to install it. Okay, so what is Vue Dev tool? So basically, this one is for is a tool for improving the developer experience. So in the previous, I think in the previous Dev tool, you actually has a little bit, not really much information you can um, looks for or go through, but in this one we actually have a lot of more of features and um, tool which you can use for debugging, right? So this one is inspired by the Nagdale tool, yes. And then so you have the so these are the features that are exist in the Vue Dev tool. So basically you have the page, not the web, the page, so you can see all the existing pages on inside your projects. And yeah, the current route provides quick navigations. So basically you can click on this route here. Let's say if you go to page, so if let's say okay, so if you already install and configure everything, so you will see the small icon right here. So basically, okay, let me just change the color. So I will go to setting. I will just change the appearance to black. Okay, dark. So inside page here. So you see here, page. So basically, in this page, we actually list all the route available route inside your projects. So in this case, I have three routes. One is home route, about, and contact. So right now, I'm in the home page. So you see. So if I click on route here, you see here, it actually active. So it will make this route active. So if I go to the next page, you see here. So basically, it will actually record all. I think it's not recording, but it just show you how is the page is being navigated. Okay, so I think all routes here are being listed down here, And then if you go to the next features, which is the components. So inside components, you will basically can see all the components inside your projects. So right now, I actually have I think two main component. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think total 6, right? So if you take a look, 7 component, right? So 7 components. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so basically, okay, 1. I'm not sure what are the component. I think we have UFs. We have 1, 2, 3, URouter 4, URouter link 5, app 6, and then I think we probably I don't know how to count this. Okay, let's count the component. Let's learn how to count. Okay. So basically you have the so this 3, 4, and you have router, and you have router link 6. I think 7. Why it's 7? I'm not sure. I don't know how to count component. 3 pages, and actually router link, router view, counter store. I think this is set up one. Okay, router view, router link, counter components, counter store. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is this consider yeah, I think you see here after I click on the link here, so the router view will actually render the component based on the route that you visit. Yeah, I think this is the idea behind this component here. So if you click on route, I think you will see nothing. Basically, this is the route component. So you see here we have 3 route component, which is the route here. So we have app component. This is the appearance component. So inside, I think we have 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think 1. So I think we have 3 here, and then 3 here, and then we have URouter 6, right? Yeah, I think that's how this tool count, right? But I'm not sure if I say something's wrong. Please correct me. I'm not really sure how this works, but let's just assuming that this is how it being count. So I think it count this. So we have 3 router components. So this is actually 3, and then we have router view 4, and inside the view router we actually have 3 different page, right? So I think this 3 different page will be 3 more. So 3 plus 4 plus 3 is actually 7, right? So I think I hope this is how it count. But if I'm wrong, please correct me. Okay. So the next feature is actually assets. So this one is actually will list down all the file and asset inside your projects. So if you take a look here, the first part is actually listing down all the will list down all the file inside your public directory, right? So you see here favorite icon, favoriteicon.ico. So if you take a look at your project directory, so this one will stay inside here, public folder. So this one will list all the file inside your folder. So, and also after the second part is actually the assets. So this one will list down all the file and asset inside your source folders. So if you go to source folder, you go to asset, and then you will see that you currently have 2 file here. Okay. So this is not really, I think this is just for information about your assets. And if you go to next features, basically this one is the time. I think this one is really useful with how you want to see how the route being changed over time. So this one will basically record all the information about your route. Let's say if you refresh when the first page load, nothing happened. If you try to navigate to somewhere, so see, after navigating, you will see the start of navigation and end the navigation, where it came from, and where is the status to. Okay, so you see all the information is being listed here. So if you go to another page, you see here, all the record, all the history will be recorded inside this timeline. So Pini as well. So if you have Pini store, so I already set up one of the store from Pini. So we basically have count, minus and plus. So we have count and double count. So when you click on plus, it will basically will increment the value by 1, and the double count will be by 1 as well, but it will multiply by 2. So you see here, increment, mutation, increment. Okay, so this we have only one actions here, which is the increment actions, which we call from the Pini store. So if you take a look at here, so this is the code here. So basically we have you see here count. So I have count, and then I have double count. I also have the buttons here, which I used to click on decrement and increment. So so I have my store here. I have the count store, and then I destructure the export variables out of the store. So you can see here. So you probably wonder why I need to use two refs here, because if you try to destructure the view, Pini variable or reactive state, it will basically lose the reactive state from Pini. So that's why you need to include the two refs to make sure that it still remain reactivity. Okay, so this is count. So I think you can just write something. I think for function is okay. So I think you can just use something like this, count store. I think if you prefer, so decrement, I think function is not gonna affect. Yeah, I think something like this. Okay, so this is how you destructure variable from PDF. So if you save, go back, you see everything's still working fine, right? So all the information will be listing down here. Yes, I think that's it for the timeline. So you will see all the, you can actually play more with this. But so I just go to the next feature, which is the route. So I think this one is actually, I think it's not really much, but it basically will list down all the route available inside your project. Let's say you have a route with the ID parameter, right? Let's say you you will be accepting ID as the params. So I think they're also listing down here as well. Okay. So I think next is Pini. I think this Pini will actually list down all the store available inside Pini. Like we have here, we have the counter store. So basically, the name of the counter store will be based on the ID you give to the Pini store, right? So you see here. So if you change this to counter my counter. So basically, if you refresh this and go back to the devtools, you will see this one actually changed, because this one will list all the store based on the ID. Okay, you see here inside the store we actually have state and have getters. So inside state we have the ID. So basically this one will list down the ID based on the ID, and getter based on the ID as well. Okay, what next? What else? So we have inspector. So for inspector, it's like your browser inspecting tool, but this one is a little bit. I think the animation is a little bit more smoother. Okay, you see there's a delay between switching from one element to another elements. Yeah, things go to the files. Okay, can I go to the file? Oh, it basically go to the file for me. Oh, really interesting. So let's try again. So basically I would want to go to the about, let's say to go to about page. Okay. Oh, interesting. So I think this one is, let's say you are trying to find where's the component it came from. You can actually use the inspection tool to go directly to your code base. I think without searching, let's say you want to search for about page, right? So normally what I do is that I'm gonna go to my project and then I'm gonna search for this about page, and then here it is inside about view. But with the new inspection tool in view tool, you can actually inspect for the element, and then you can basically go to that element go to that code directly inside your editors, right? So I think this is very helpful when debugging. Yes, this is very. I think this is very helpful. So I think I'm gonna use this a lot maybe in the future after the release, the first version release. So component docs. So I think this not okay. So this is basically list all the document about your components. So I think here we have FW component hello you the welcome. So basically we list all the component. I think based on the .view file. So I think it will basically list all the view file here. And I think this one features here npm search package. So I think this one also, I think this one probably also useful when you work with, when you want to see the version of um, each package. So you don't need to go to the package.json and look for the package, because sometimes this package here will not uh, based on this is sometimes it 21.2 something like that, right? So you probably need to go find inside your log file, something like that, what are the versions that installed inside your projects. But with here it basically show you the exact versions of each package that you have installed inside your projects. So I think this one will help you more in figure out what are the versions that you have installed inside your projects without go and search for uh, specific version inside your log file. Okay, so next, okay, graft. Um, I'm not sure how to. I'm not sure how this works, but I think this actually can happen when you feel a little bit stressed out from your bug fixings. Let's say you really frustrated and then you want to make something that can relax. I think this one is kind of relaxing. You see here. I'm not sure. I never, I never. So I think this is basically the graph that represents how your component interact with each others, right? So basically you have main TS. So I think it's all start from the index.ts, right? No? Yeah, I think everything is start from index.ts. So as you can see here. Oops, oops. Is it gonna turn into the original side? Okay. So basically we start, so main TS gonna start interact with the index TS. Okay. So I think this is the starting point where every arrow is connected. So you see here, all the arrows actually start to start getting out from main TS. So we actually go to the arrow start from go to main CSS, and then I'll go to app as well, and then the app go to counters. It means that this app is actually getting some stuff from the counter, and then the app is actually being imported to main. Yeah, index here, and then index import all this component here. Will interact with this component. Okay. Yeah, I think this is how it works, but I'm not sure. But if you know what this graph do, maybe um, give me some explanation as well. Okay, what's next? This one is called inspect. Okay. So is this the history? I'm not sure. I'm not sure how this works, but okay, let's take a look at the document. So Pineer Craft Inspect. So this one expose with plugin inspect allow you to inspect transformation step of width, can help you to understand how each plugin transform your code and spot potential issues. Oh, I see. Okay, so basically this one will allow you to see the transformation of width. Okay, and also, yeah, I think this, if you take a look at this, oh, I see, post. So basically view inspector, view import analysis. So I think this is the step that involved in this component. So we have view inspector and then followed by view and then import analysis. Yeah, I think this is the whole idea, but I'm not really sure, but I just assume that this is the idea. So this is the first steps, the second step, and then the last step, right? So I think if you see about counter.ts here, so it start with ESBL. So after ESBL, it's gonna start with import analysis, and also build, and then analysis again. I'm not really sure how this works, but I think probably um, useful when you try to build a library or some kind of UI library. But I'm not really sure because I'm not sure about this one, how it works. Okay, so next to the document features, so in this tab you can actually see all the available document from the providers. So example, you have installed Vue.js, Vue Router, and Pini inside your projects. You can see the document inside here as well being listed down here. I think that's all for the current features. And we also have these settings. So if you click on settings here, you will see some setting inside here like apps. Say if you are toggle the apps, you will see all the information. You will just hide all the information about the apps. So if you untoggle it, so this one we actually hide all this information here, all the tabs here. You see, all the tab inside here will be hide, and then we have the module tab section. So if you hide it, it will disappear. Like this will basically allow you to modify how you want to see your navigation tabs here. And then we also have the layout configuration as well. So we have the position. You can switch to different places inside your browser, but I prefer the bottom one. Appearance, there's two themes, light and dark. There's a little bit of wave effect. You see here, drop. I think the water drop effect. It's a little bit. It's interesting. I think this one is actually. I used to see this kind of effect inside Beautify, but I think now they are also implemented inside Vue devtools as well. And you also have the option to modify the scale of the text. So tiny, small, you have the normal, large, and huge as well. So this one is close dev2 when clicking outside. So this one, if you allow this, it will be close the dev2 when you click outside the I think the model here, right? See? So if you disable it, see, whenever I click outside, nothing happen. Yeah, I think that's it for this video. If you have any question, please drop in the comment section. I will try to answer all the. Oh wait. Somehow I forgot to show you how to install that plugin, right? So basically, you can take a look in this document here. So I think you can scroll to the buttons. So this is the installation. So you need to install this one first. You type this command inside your terminal, and then just import it, and then use it here, and then everything will be working, right? So if you take a look at my code here, I have installed it. This here, I installed it with this command right here. Because I use pnpm, I just type pnpm here. Okay, just use like this. Okay, so we want to install it as the development dependency. Okay, so after install, so if I click install here, you see it will takes less time because I already installed it once. So I think it's gonna install, it will not take long time. So after that, you're gonna import it. So you just copy this and then put it inside here, right? So nothing really fancy. Okay, and then you copy this and make sure you put before initialize Vue flag it. So if you try, I think what happened if we put it at the end. Okay, so I think let's try to put it. I never tried this. Let's try. Will it work? Yeah, I think it still work, but it's put in front of. It means that it will. I think based on the order of this plugin, I think it also affect the way that you initialize the projects. So if you put the dev tool first, I think it will try to initialize the dev tool before initializing the view instance, something like that. I'm not really I'm not really um, um, I'm not really know well about the uh, core principle about view, but I just try to explain what I understand. So some point will not be true. It will it only based on my understanding. Okay. So okay, so I think that's it. So this is how you can configure and install Vue plugins. After you install that Vue Dev tool, you can see here there's an icon here. So you click on it, you will see the uh, dialog here. Okay. So enable everything apps. So here, yeah, I think that's it for this video. Thank you for watching.